What's up, everybody? It's Sid and Millie back with another episode. Um, Chatting again about the World Cup here. We're getting tired about talking about
When we just finished
a
watching this
certain
game.
team.
Yeah.
We just finished watching the England-Argentina game. So, Millie, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, just massively disappointing from England. The result of the match, England was obviously fighting for football as a whole, fighting against corruption, and they weren't able to do it. Obviously, we saw more of the same as far as the refereeing. We saw, Argentinian players commit 5 fouls in the first half and not even get a single yellow card. 5 fouls, if you didn't know, that would basically be a red card.
Wow.
Because your second, third foul, you're probably getting a yellow card. You get one freebie in between before you get your second yellow. So again,
Wow.
that was a clear one. You also had the Enzo Fernandez punch on the back of Anderson, where he came in with his elbow and hit somebody in the back of the head,
Oh my
in a
God.
tackle, also missed by VAR. So we knew
Missed by VAR,
that
yeah.
England was not going to get any calls. We knew that this game had to be won up front in the run of play. And yeah, we knew that VAR, the referees, we knew that everything was going to fall in Argentina's favor per the programming. We know that the script is written for Argentina. So it was really for England to kind of, rip up the script and go out and win this game in the run of play. And for large portions of the game, especially, early on, you kind of saw that. You saw England kind of proving that they are the better footballing team and that they could hang with Argentina. And then, after they scored the goal, the tactics just went out the window completely.
Yeah.
But even in the first half, if you look at the entire first half from start to finish, it was massively scrappy. There was so many fouls in the opening 10 minutes. I think it was like 10 fouls in 10 minutes or
Wow.
something ridiculous
That's
like that.
crazy.
But Argentina had a clear flow. They were going to foul to chop up the play to prevent England from building any possession. And they succeeded in that. They succeeded because of the fact the referee didn't give out any yellow cards to kind of set this tone early for Argentina. So they were kind of allowed to continue their menacing actions. And I have never seen a team in a football match commit as many fouls as Argentina did in the first half of that game.
Wow.
I have never seen that.
That's
And
pretty
they received
crazy.
one yellow card the entire match.
Yeah, which is also just insane. We saw
Yeah,
definitely multiple
definitely
other
yellow cards.
situations that
Bellingham
should
was in a
have.
headlock at one point. I mean,
I know. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
I don't want to waste a bunch of energy, waste a bunch of breath talking about VAR and the refereeing,
yeah, of course, of
because we
course.
know that they are going to rig the matches in Argentina's favor. So again, it's massively important that the team that they're playing against can win the game in the run of play.
Mm-hmm.
And so England did well. Anyway, back to the first half. In the first half, despite all of the possession, despite having, the better of play throughout the game, England still had not created really any chances on
Mm.
goal. It was still a very, I don't remember exactly when Gordon scored, but all I know is that England wasn't really dynamic in the attack. I mean, Kane didn't have a single shot on target. Gordon, I don't think he shot other than his goal.
Right.
Jude Bellingham was not really in the attack as much.
I know.
It was just
What
like
was going
I
on?
honestly don't know. It's just like they started Rogers out on the right, which definitely made a lot of sense. But again, it's just like in the attack, they weren't utilizing these players. They weren't actually being dynamic in the attack and creating clear cut opportunities. And I think that's exemplified by the fact that Kane didn't have a single chance in the entire game.
Okay.
It kind of highlights that, again, they had possession, but they weren't necessarily being dangerous with it up until the goal, which was scored by England, which obviously was caused when Harry Kane dropped a little bit deeper into the midfield, picked up the ball, distributed wide to Rogers. Rogers crossed into Gordon, who tapped it in. And that was the best run of play England had
I
all
had
game.
so much hope.
Yeah.
I had
It was
so much
brilliant leading up
hope
to that. It
after
was
that
brilliant.
goal.
Yeah.
And then
Thomas Tuchel happened.
what happened?
Yeah. I mean, it's the manager. It is 100% the manager. We've been talking about Thomas Tuchel all tournament, saying he's not the guy for England. He will not get England across the line. And he proved it. The proof is in this tournament.
Literally.
England's team got them to where they are. The way they play is preventing the players from excelling in reality. And Thomas Tuchel is just the latest, rendition of the Southgate way, which is very cowardly, responsive, weak-hearted. I don't know. I don't even have all the adjectives for it, but I'll just sum it down to cowardice.
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel is a coward. That is what it comes down to. You're winning 1-0 in the semifinal game, and instead of continuing to apply pressure, making Argentina make some tough decisions, whether they want to go full out attack, but forcing them to defend and be honest, instead of doing that, you coward in the corner, you sub off attacking players, you go to 5, potentially 6 in the back, and then you sit in your 18-yard box and beg Argentina, please come and score on us.
Literally, you're inviting attacks.
Just
you're
pathetic.
literally inviting
pathetic.
it. You're like, hey, we're gonna be back here. You guys go ahead and try whatever you want.
And again,
That's crazy.
it just highlights that these licenses that these coaches have, it's just a piece of paper. It is a barrier to entry to prevent people who actually know the sport from gaining those roles. But from this performance from Thomas Tuchel, it's clear that that certification, it doesn't mean anything, because that was a clear tactical issue. Clear tactical mistakes, game management, piss poor, absolute everything went out the window. I don't know what it was for Thomas Tuchel that caused that. I don't know what made him, get out the clown makeup and start painting his face, but it is 100% on him. Way too defensive, cowardly. You went and sat and cowered in the corner, cowered around your box when you should have been pressing them high up the field, trying to score the second goal. If you score the second goal, they're dead and buried. But instead of that, Thomas Tuchel, you resort to cowardice.
Yeah.
And this is the result of it.
Well, yeah.
This is the result. This is exactly what happens when you sit back and try and defend for 20 minutes. It never works. It never works. Any sport, any team, it never works. Last 10 minutes, okay. Last 5 minutes, okay, fine. That's when you switch to all-out defense. But with 20 minutes of football left, you're going to switch to all-out defense over a 1-0 lead?
Yeah, come on.
Idiocracy.
Please.
I mean, it is 100% down to Thomas Tuchel. He made terrible decisions. He set his team up for failure, and he let the entire country of England down. 100% it is on Thomas Tuchel. And this should not be a situation like Southgate where they give a manager a ton of time to try and figure out their mistakes and no. He got it wrong this whole tournament. England has been playing at maybe 65% capacity of what this team is capable of under this manager. And it is not good enough. I think the English fans, the English press, they've all been in this shared delusion and excitement because of how fun it is to be in a tournament. But the reality is, this is no better of a result than Southgate gave you guys at the last World Cup. It's no better. It is the exact position you guys lost in last time. So there is no clear progressive step forward under this manager of Thomas Tuchel. So don't waste the time like you did with Southgate. Fire Thomas Tuchel tomorrow, get him out of there immediately, and bring in a new manager who can get serious and do this job.
Yes.
This England team is capable of so much more than we watched today. They are not a team that should be sitting cowardly and trying to defend for 20 minutes. No, a proper English side would have stayed out there and played that shit Argentina team off the pitch and punished them with 2 or 3 more goals and sat them home. That's what a real English team with confidence would have done. But instead, just like their manager, they played like cowards, and that's what happened. You invite pressure, you got pressure. And you couldn't stand it. And this is the thing. Think about it, even if Argentina tied the game up, England subbed off most of their attacking people that could have potentially given them another go-ahead goal.
Truly. Put
It
Rashford on in the 95th minute.
Yeah, the last subs were just desperation from Thomas Tuchel. So his desperation subs don't even count. But it's just like earlier in the game, it shows the lack of tactical awareness. You should realize, okay, if I want to make a defensive substitution, I can do that. But you can also make an attacking substitution at the same time. That way, it doesn't signify to your team and the other team, oh, they're going full out defense. And that's what he did. He made the most obvious, glaring, we're going to cower in our box and try and win headers. That's the substitutions Thomas Tuchel made. And Argentina said, bet, and they licked their lips and they started attacking.
Mm-hmm.
It is 100% down to Thomas Tuchel. I mean, the tactics were atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And they cost them the game.
Yeah.
And England was the better team for a majority of the game up until they scored, which is just maddening to say. They were the better team until they scored. And then they lost their mind through their manager and gave Argentina the game. Just handed it to them on the full platter.
Yeah.
Didn't say, hey, come outplay us in the run of game. Didn't say, hey, come and score on us by breaking us. No. They said, we're going to sit in and make this as easy as possible for Argentina to come back. And they did.
Yeah.
So England, I mean, it was a pathetic second half. Absolutely
really
unacceptable. Unacceptable from all of those players. I mean, what has Kane done this tournament? I know they're going to point. I know how the English press works. They're going to find a way to pin this on Jude Bellingham because his skin complexion is just like mine. But the reality is Kane was a no factor this entire tournament. Gordon, don't get me started. Anderson, Rice, I mean, these guys were subpar this tournament, and the English press won't say anything about it. They're going to attack Jude Bellingham. They're going to attack Spence, who was fantastic, by the way. They're going to attack those two guys and bury them as if they're the ones to blame, despite the fact it is their core players of pretty white guys that led them down this drain.
Yeah.
That's the reality. You can't blame this on Jude Bellingham. He was by far England's best player at this tournament by a country mile. Jude Bellingham should be knighted for his performance at this tournament.
Honestly.
He's the only English player who showed up to play. And I can say that excluding my two guys, Rashford and Mainu. Mainu, who was literally not even given an opportunity to prove himself or show what he's capable of. Absolutely disastrous tactics from Thomas Tuchel once again. And then Rashford, a massively underutilized player at this World Cup, showed that he can score in the one game he actually got minutes and then was banished for whatever reason.
I know.
It just shows, again, Thomas Tuchel was not serious about scoring goals. He didn't see goal scoring as an important part of England's team. No. And again, Jude Bellingham is a center midfielder. Having the expectation that a center midfielder is going to show up every single game and score is massively unrealistic. Thank you.
That's not his
job. It's not his job. And you got Kane dropping back to be the playmaker. Okay, it worked out in the sense of the goal. It worked out that play because it was a phenomenal ball by Kane. I'll give him credit for that. But majority of the time, when he's dropping into the midfield, he is out of position. He needs to be the high guy that the midfielders can pass into and play off of. But he is so deep in the midfield that by the time he connects his pass, there's no attack to be had.
Right.
Because our most attacking player is with our midfielders. So if you look at the way the build-up, even the way England are building up in their attack, it's a flawed system. It's taking their most dangerous attacker away from the goal to be a playmaker. When they could have had a playmaker on the field in Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah.
So Kane wouldn't have had to drop as far back. So again, it just comes down to Thomas Tuchel. That's what it comes down to. Poor decisions. Poor game management, poor man management, poor substitutions, poor just looking at the game and analyzing the game. I mean, in match, there is no way after that goal scored, he thought to himself, you know what we need? Defenders. We need to just defend the rest of this game. I mean, did he slip and hit his head before the match? I mean, no way. Is that your tactic? You've managed in the Premier League. You've managed a Champions League final. I mean, is that how you would go about those sorts of matches?
I hope not.
It is disgusting.
Yeah.
When we're watching Manchester United, the expectation is always that they're going to score, they're going to be winning the game, but they're always still trying to hurt their opponent and score more goals. Second goal, third goal, then you bury them. But this one goal in high bullshit,
That's crazy. Cowardly, like you said.
Yeah, cowardly. So
cowardly.
Yeah, I mean, England let the football world down. They let us all down, honestly, and they let their country down because now no day off work because of you guys. And I mean, England probably going to get smacked in that game against France. That's going to be ugly because they're not ready for a team like that. But again, I don't know because the French guys also looked super elementary the other day. So
well, I guess it may be a good pairing.
Little, two clowns fighting each other. That meme. That's what it will be. Just massively disappointing. England definitely probably saw themselves in the final. It would have been their first final in the World Cup in 60 years. They were inches away, and the cowardice of their coach ripped them away from it. And again,
so sad.
Yeah, it is massively sad. And again, this England team is capable of more. They could have played better football. They could have walked Argentina off the pitch, and they could have ended the game 2-3-0.
Yeah.
But the difference is in big games, the types of tactical decisions the manager makes. Do you hide behind your 1-goal lead and invite pressure and let the other team attack you from the top of your 18-yard box for 20 minutes? If you're an idiot, yes, that's what you do. If you're a proper footballing manager, you would have been forcing your team to continue pressing, continue trying to score that second goal, continue trying to punish them on the counterattack as they're attacking. That would have been the way to manage the game. Some defensive substitutions maybe, but bringing on players like Dan Burn who aren't going to have a presence in the game other than heading the ball. It's just silly.
That was the super tall guy.
Yeah, okay. Just silly. Again, he's brought on solely to head the ball.
Not a game changer,
brother. You need to be pressuring the service of the ball coming into the box, not just worrying about the ball in the box. And guess what? Even with all those defensive substitutions, they still scored a header to win the game off a cross.
I know.
So it didn't even make sense bringing on all those guys because if you don't mark your damn man in the box, you're still not going to stop the goal. So it's just an idiotic substitution on all fronts. What they needed to do, bring on midfielders, bring on another attacking-esque player to put pressure on the servers of Argentina. That way they couldn't get free service into the box. I mean, so obvious, Thomas. Not to mention the shot from distance off of corner kick. The corner kick was earned off of a shot from distance. Ding, 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 ding. Maybe we need to try and mark the shot from distance. But no, not Thomas Tuchel's England. Let's leave the guy who just shot from distance to earn this corner kick alone at the top of the box. Again, Argentina had 3 to 4 guys at the top of the box when Enzo Fernandez shot that shot, which means there were 3 to 4 English players that were standing in the box that were not marking a man, were marking space. And guess what they could have been doing? Standing at the top of the box to prevent a shot from distance. It is elementary school football.
Wow.
It is so disgusting. I mean, the fact that I just, there's just no excuse for what Thomas Tuchel did today. Just no excuse. And again, like the England FA, they've got to make their decision. But if they continue with this manager, expect more of the same. You guys will always be the bridesmaid, never the bride. That's the reality. And this is just another example of that. And again, this is no clear progress from Southgate. From Southgate to Tuchel, we're seeing the same star-studded English national team underperform and play like trash in major tournaments. It shouldn't be happening, but it's happening because they're mismanaged. Yeah. So those were my thoughts on Thomas Tuchel blowing England's lead in the semifinal of the World Cup with terrible tactics, causing the cheating Argentines to go ahead and make it to their second World Cup final in a row. We know VAR and FIFA are on their side, so yeah, just makes for a very disappointing and boring final. But anyway,
Spain, see what you can do.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Spain, if anybody can do it, Spain should be able to.
Yeah, truly.
But yeah, so those are our thoughts on the England Argentina game. Obviously, Argentina is unfortunately progressing. England let down the football world today, but that's neither here nor there. Kobe Mainu, get home, rest up, get ready. Big season, big role for you to play at Manchester United. You already know of your importance, you know of your ability. Don't let this terrible manager get into your head or think that you're anything less than you are. You're a fantastic midfielder, and we know that, and we know you're going to do big things with Man United next season. Same to Rashford. Can't wait to have you back at the club, man. And let's get this money, Man United, back on Saturday. So yeah, I can't wait to switch gears and talk about something we actually talk about a team that we're actually backing. And anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
World Cup. That's it.
Yes. So if you made it this far,
Thanks for watching.
we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.